Let's do it again. This is a Fatboy straight 8 pill and a 16 pill enclosure with full length heat sinks. This is a long run operation. Like, there's double the normal amount of heat sink that's inside this thing, right? The problem is, I don't know what this amp had dripped in it, dropped on it. This is dirty. Very, very dirty on the inside. I mean, I don't know what atmosphere or what. I mean, I'm going to wash it, but I don't know. I don't know. I have to nickname this one Old Stinky. I don't know. It's got 4 fans to it. It's got a lockout option for the remote. And I'm sure it works. Just inside it looks rough, right? So let me spend some time. I'm going to, you know, do my thing, get out the alcohol and scrub, and we'll see what happens. But like, these are not going to come back. We're not going to get the silver, and we're not going to get these to polish up again. It's not happening. Neither is this. It's just, there's no way. So let's see if we can get this to clean up a little bit, and then we'll go from there. And so here we are, just 5 whole minutes later. A little bit of rubbing alcohol, and bam, it looks like this. Isn't that pretty now? Man, just a little bit of cleaning. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm teasing. I'm teasing. Check out the next segment. I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry. I had to tease you guys with that last little segment there. So yeah, it's all cleaned up, and we got all the mud out of it, and it was mud. I think this thing has been, well, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. It was mud. It was mud. So now, let's go get rid of all the ugly pits like this and this. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with them, but to me that I can't trust it. So we're going to replace the tubes. We're going to replace our coils, and we'll come through and replace these caps. And then we'll test drive it, and we'll see what we got. So give me just a second. We'll get this done. We'll move on to the next step, and on to the next step, and on to the next step, and on to the next step. Okay, so we got the output, input, tuning coils replaced. They started out looking like this. So we replaced that with all brand new parts. We scrubbed all the mud out of the inside of this thing, and that's what it was. Is I think it was mud, dirt, whatever. And once we got it all cleaned up, we replaced these capacitors on the top of the output transformers, and then we shot a little bit of clear on it to make sure it was going to stay looking this nice and clean. But we got her all cleaned up. So now we're over here. We're going to zip over here real quick, and we're going to take a look at, put that down on 1X. Take a look at the amp itself in actual operation. So, hello, 1, 2. We're going to put 200 watts of drive into it. We've got our Striker 490 out, and we're going to drive this thing with 200 watts of drive. So, hello, 1, 2. Our base dead key is going to be 2.5 watts. So 2.5 watts going in. Hello. Audio. Well over 1,000. Now we'll take this up to 2X. And as you guys already all know, that when the needle gets over here, otherwise full needle deflection, here it's 2,000 watts. Right here in the middle between the 40 and the 60, that 50 is 1,000. 12, 14, 16, 18, on over to 2,000. Hello. Hello. Making 1,800 watts, no big deal. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's go take a look at our input tune. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. Beautiful thing. Perfectly low enough. Now that average number is a little off, and that's because the Striker's still got all the limiters in it, and it's a relatively clean radio. So what we'll do is we'll switch over to the derail striker. And what we're talking about is that center meter, how it's a little low. It's showing like 200 bird, right? It all has to do with the radio. Hello. See, just by changing the radio, we picked up an additional 300-400 bird, right? Hello. 1 2 1 2. 600-700 bird, very low drive. The derail striker only puts about 120 watts in it, hence the reason why we're only seeing 1800 come out of this. So we're back down on 1X on this meter, and I have the amplifier off. Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2. 120 watts worth of drive. Hello, hello, audio. This thing's working perfect, absolutely perfect. Well, as always, we got to thank the Patreons for making it possible, so we don't have any ads in our video. I've got to say thanks to Penta XS, Siglant, Bird, and Coaxial Dynamics. Pretty straightforward. This is an 8-pill and a 16-pill enclosure, which means it will run forever. It has Toshibas in it. And let's go hook up the fans on the lid. Let's put the lid back on it, and let's run it again with the fans on and it getting some air.